Alright everybody, what's going on? It's Thundershot, and I'm here today with some pretty exciting news. We have a brand new 2014 Dragon Ball Z game announced for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360, and I'll talk more about that later. But anyways, here it is. I've got the link in the description down below, but I recommend you stay and watch the end of this video so you can hear some of my thoughts on what this stuff is. But yeah, there's an article now. Just came out today, actually, but it's new Dragon Ball game in development for PlayStation 4 is the title of it. It's got this picture of a comic book from Jump Magazine, and of course, or 5 Jump Magazine, or V Jump Magazine, however it's pronounced, or said. But they give us, I mean, you know, all the best news. I believe they were the first ones to break Battle of Z coming out as a game, but yeah, so this is all we know right now. First of all, there's this really sweet picture, which I will talk about in a second. But first, I'm going to summarize the article for you. It's not a very long one, and that's because this magazine page is the only thing we have to go off of. But in the latest issue of 5 Jump Magazine, or Jump Magazine, I'm just going to call it that, reports that Bandai Namco are working on a new Dragon Ball game for PlayStation 4, making it the first Jump series to get a game on the console. As seen in the above image, the game features famous villains such as Vegeta, Frieza, and Cell, which to me tells me that we can probably assume that they'll go all the way through to the Kid Buu saga, unless this is just like a part 1. Like if they plan on making a first game and then follow it up with a second game which covers Kid Buu and then like the movie sagas maybe and stuff like that. Or not movie sagas, but movies and stuff like that. But I'm willing to bet this game's going to have all of it. Anyways, moving on from that. It shows someone with red hair sporting a jacket with the Capsule Corp logo, maybe some sort of scouter, looking at Goku and Vegeta during their first memorable bout. I'll talk more about that in a second because that's going to be a big deal. While the details from the magazine are scant, they show images of a mysterious shrine-looking place and something that looks similar to the time machine that Trunks used to travel through time. Dragon Ball for the PlayStation 4 is currently in development for PlayStation 4. It's also being made for PS3 and Xbox 360. So I'll start with that, I guess. Only being made for PS4, PS3, and Xbox 360. I find that very strange. I don't know why you would make it for the Xbox One. To me, if they were wanting to be, oh, we're going to be console exclusive, maybe then they would go PS4 and PlayStation 3. Or maybe they were like, oh, we want the highest quality of our game that's ever possible to be achieved. Then they would only go PS4, right? Because PS4 has true 1080p and Xbox One doesn't. That would make sense. But to run it on PS4, PS3, and not 360, I don't fully understand that. Maybe Xbox One didn't want it. Maybe they're going to make it for the PlayStation 3, and it's going to be easier to upscale to the PS4 and just port to the Xbox 360 since PS3 and Xbox 360 are on the same generation, same platform basically. It'd be easy to port it over, and then it'd be easy to upscale it from PS3 to PS4 because they're both Sony. I don't really know how this works. I'm just trying to figure it out. Or maybe the Xbox One simply hasn't announced it yet, but we'll find out that the Xbox One has it later. Either way, it's not going to affect me because I'm a PlayStation kind of guy, but I find that interesting that they leave the Xbox One out with no real reason that I can see right away to it. Moving on from that, we look up at the picture. First of all, we see Goku and Vegeta fighting in what is presumably their very first big fight ever, with really good one, obviously. In the upper left-hand side, we see Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan throwing a Kamehameha wave to Cell. It doesn't look like their big beam struggle because they were on the ground for their big beam struggle, but it certainly is from that fight. Right below that picture, we have Goku punching Frieza in the face. As Super Saiyan, obviously, it's the big Goku-Frieza fight. In the bottom left, I didn't know what to make of that, and maybe somebody else has an idea, and if you do, leave it in the comments down below. First, I guess maybe Bill's Castle, but that's not nearly big enough to be Bill's Castle. It looks like it could be on Planet Namek, maybe, but I didn't remember any place in Planet Namek that had a big glass dome around it, you know? And it also kind of reminded me of, you know how when the Namekians came down, or when the Namekians came to planet Earth and they all stayed at Bulma's house, it kind of reminded me of a couple places that Bulma's house looked like. So I don't know what all that bottom, like way in the bottom left, I don't know what all that could be exactly. But moving on from that, just to the right of that photo, we see what they were talking about in the article. They said it was a shrine with something that looked like Trunks' time capsule. Now it does look similar to that. It doesn't look exactly like that. The colors are off. The shape is just a little bit not quite as right as it was in the TV show, but it still could be the time capsule. You know, they like to change the way stuff is in games. I have no idea what that shrine could be though. It looks like the time capsule almost spawned from the shrine because they're almost identical in colors. However, I have a theory on what that could be, and I'll talk about that in just a second. I just found out about this article. I thought about it for a little bit, so I'm coming up with some of these theories right now. But then, of course, in the bottom right, it's Goku and Vegeta squaring off for their first battle. Now, I saved him for last because it's probably the most important thing. Let's talk about this mysterious stranger. Just on the right side of the screen, he's got red hair and a Capsule Corp logo. Now, I don't know about you guys, But the first thing that comes to me, and a Scouter for that matter, so maybe he's a Saiyan, but the first thing that comes to me when I see the Capsule Corp logo and red hair, and I swear, this is probably wrong, but I get a little bit excited, and I think future Trunks had to go Super Saiyan God. Alright, hear me out on this. Think about it. Future Trunks goes back to his own timeline, right? Majin Buu gets released, right? Trunks is still fighting, right? Because he's the only one to defend the Earth. Well, let's assume Trunks found out how to beat Majin Buu. Maybe he beat him in his Fat Buu stage, didn't let him go Super Buu or anything like that. Or Kid Buu, I guess. He wouldn't have anyone to absorb in the future timeline. But yeah, maybe he just beats Fat Buu right away. Or maybe Fat Buu becomes a nice guy. Maybe he punches the evil. Whatever. He gets through the Majin Buu saga. Bill still wakes up, and he still has his dream about Super Saiyan God. And then he comes to Earth, and they find out. Now, I have no idea how future Trunks would go Super Saiyan God, because there's no longer Saiyans around unless Trunks had 4 kids. You never know. Trunks may have had 4 kids, and then they all held hands, and he became Super Saiyan God. And Super Saiyan God Trunks may be coming back to this timeline for whatever reason. Maybe he needs help. Now, he came back a little prematurely if he's with Goku when Goku's fighting Vegeta. But that's just my thought. He gets Capsule Corp. Trunks has always had that Capsule Corp jacket. That's not his Super Saiyan hairstyle, but maybe Super Saiyan God has affected that in some way. Truth be told, that is actually the hairstyle of Gohan. Adult Gohan, if you look at that, or Tarble for that matter. It could be Tarble. It's not Tarble. But anyways, that little hair lip he's got coming down from the top of his head, and then with the way the spikes are, it looks like Gohan. I don't know. Make your assumptions in the comment section down below. But bottom line is, as of right now, we only know the game as Dragon Ball is all it's known as, but it's just called Dragon Ball New Project, as you can see in the bottom right, and PS4 in clear English lettering in the middle of the page there. But yeah, go ahead and leave your thoughts on what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. Again, if you're new around here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be coming out with this news as it happens. And a big thank you to Kev99 in Twitch, or KevinLoco881 on YouTube, if you see his name in the comment section, for letting me know about this. He was the first one. Like, as soon as it came out, he's like, yo, Thundershot, you got to check this out. So a big thank you to him. Again, leave your comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. I'll be doing news like this all the time, so subscribe if you want to be up to date with how the new Dragon Ball game's coming along. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm Thundershot, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.